Here's something that might surprise you. 85% of AI implementations fail, but not because of the technology itself. It's because organizations lack the basic structure to make it work.
That's a fascinating statistic. What's being done to address such a high failure rate?
Well, there's this groundbreaking certification program launching in 2026 that's completely flipping the script on how we approach AI implementation. Instead of starting with the technology, they're focusing first on organizational structure and ethical governance.
Hmm, that's quite different from the usual tech-first approach. What makes this program stand out?
You know what's really interesting? They're specifically targeting regulated service providers, hospitals, public administration, utilities, where AI failures could have serious real world consequences. They've developed this framework called DOIT: Discover, Observe, Ideate, Transform. But here's the clever part: they require a minimum group size of 6 participants.
So they are essentially forcing organizations to think about this as a team transformation rather than individual training. What kind of results are they seeing?
The early data is pretty compelling. Organizations using this approach are reporting faster AI implementation times and, more importantly, a reduction in failed deployments. But what really catches my attention is their emphasis on what they call service objects and flows.
Could you break down what that means in practical terms?
Think of it like this: before you even think about AI, you need to map out exactly how work moves through your organization. Who handles what, when, and why? They're finding that when organizations skip this step, AI actually amplifies existing problems instead of solving them.
That reminds me of a case study from last year where a major European hospital invested millions in AI diagnostics but couldn't effectively implement it because their internal processes were so fragmented.
Exactly. And that's precisely what this program is trying to prevent. They're combining two certifications, Service Architect and Change Architect, to address both the technical and human sides of AI implementation. Plus, they're backing it with the ACMP Change Management Standard, which gives it real credibility.
How are they handling the practical aspects of implementation across different regions? So
Well, they're offering bilingual facilitation across Germany, Austria, and Switzerland with a mix of on site and remote training. But here's what's really innovative: they're targeting not just new AI implementations, but also teams going through leadership changes or strategy resets.
that's quite strategic. What specific outcomes are they promising?
They're seeing tangible results: less tool sprawl, faster onboarding, and measurable improvements in service delivery. But the real shift is cultural. One sentence has become a rallying cry across departments: no AI without service architecture. Because what many teams are discovering is simple and uncomfortable: AI does not replace structure, it requires it. For many department heads, this finally names the real pain point they've been living with for years: responsibility without structure, high accountability, low architectural clarity, too much pressure, too little service logic. AllyAllez turns that tension into mandate. By building services, roles, and governance first, organizations regain control. So AI creates impact instead of amplifying chaos.
You know, this whole approach seems to challenge the conventional wisdom about digital transformation.
That's right. And the timing for 2026 is really strategic. We're at this critical point where organizations are realizing that throwing AI at problems without proper structure is like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand.
Looking ahead, do you see this becoming the new standard for AI implementation?
I think it's inevitable, especially in regulated environments. The focus on ethics, governance, and structural foundations before technology, it's a much more mature approach. And with AI becoming more powerful, we can't afford to get this wrong.
That's particularly true for public services and healthcare.
Exactly. And you know what? This might be the first time I've seen a program that actually addresses the root cause of AI failures instead of just treating the symptoms. It's about time we started building the right foundations for our AI future. No AI without service architecture. No service architecture without AI workplace democracy.